Welcome in or welcome back to the Third Flame Tarot. My name is Amber. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am thrilled that you're here because we've got some really important things I would love to talk about. Now, the first most important thing is the Pluto retrograde. Now, Pluto is one of my very favorite planets. It is associated with Scorpio and is the planet of death, destruction, chaos, anarchy, fear, loss, the shadow self. It will illuminate the deep subconscious within you where all your darkness lies. Now, within this darkness, though, is an opportunity for growth, transformation, and evolution. Pluto is known as being the phoenix rising from the ashes. Pluto will come in, shake everything up, cause absolute chaos and destruction, but from that destruction is a new beginning, right? An opportunity for transformation and evolution. And this is why I love Pluto so much. It might be very uncomfortable in the moment, but it is crucial for our own evolution and growth. Now, on September 1st, Pluto will re-enter Capricorn. So let's do a little rewind. Back on November 27th, 2008, Pluto entered Capricorn. Now, Pluto's transit around the sun is about 250 years, so it spends around 20 years in each sign. So in 2008, it entered Capricorn, and then back on March 12th, Pluto entered Aquarius. Now, Pluto's been in Aquarius and went retrograde on May 2nd and started making its way back to Capricorn. So anytime a planet or an asteroid goes retrograde, it appears to be moving backwards in the sky. But this is just because of the orbit around the sun and its relationship to Earth in its orbit. The planet will appear to move backwards. So Pluto started moving backwards towards Capricorn, and on September 1st, it will re-enter Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is an earth sign. It's known for being very grounded, stable, and secure, right? It is the sign of self-mastery, discipline, rules, boundaries, regulations, career status, and authority. So Pluto, the planet of chaos and destruction, re-entering Capricorn at the 29th degree is very significant. Now, if you pair these two together, that's transformation and chaos around authority, rules, boundaries, and career. Now, Capricorn's planet is Saturn, and Saturn is known as the planet of karma as well. So Pluto will come in and illuminate all that darkness and shadows within those aspects of Capricorn. So we might see some shadows around authority and institutions coming to light, and secrets might come out, secrets might be revealed, and we might recognize where power and authority has been misused. So get ready for that. Now, Pluto will enter Capricorn, right? And then station direct on October 11th. So on October 11th, Pluto will go direct again and make its way back into Aquarius, where on January 21st, 2024, Pluto will re-enter Aquarius, where it will remain until 2044. We've talked about the Pluto retrograde, but we've got another retrograde happening the very same day, September 1st. It's going to be a big day. So on September 1st, Uranus in Taurus will go retrograde. And Uranus is a planet, it's Aquarius' planet, and it's a planet of experimentation and rebelliousness. It is known for being a sudden, shocking, liberating energy. And it's also known as being a harbinger of change and transformation. It introduces new ideologies, or influences rather. It influences new concepts, ideologies, viewpoints, and ideas. So Uranus is a lot like Pluto in a sense, because they both are harbingers of change. They both come in and shake things up and provide an opportunity for growth and expansion. Now, both of these planets will be sitting in Earth signs, so Taurus and Capricorn. They're both Earth signs, and the Earth signs are known as being slow, steady, grounded. They don't like to push the status quo, and especially Taurus can be very stubborn. So Uranus in Taurus is kind of a clashing type relationship there. Uranus loves to shake things up wherever it goes, but Taurus is not a big fan of that. So we might find some people in grumpy moods, especially if you are an Earth sign. You might be feeling these planetary transits in a deeper way. Now, Taurus also sits in the second house, and the second house is about money, possessions, and material wealth. And then Uranus is sudden and shocking, liberating, experimental, and rebellious. So this might not be the best time for investing. We might see a hit to the stock market. Personal finance might take a hit. So maybe not a good time to be frivolous or experimental with your money, especially with the Pluto retrograde happening at the same time. Now, a little bit about Uranus before we talk about a couple other things and then get into the reading. But Uranus has a cycle of 84 years and entered Taurus back on May 15th. Now, it goes retrograde September 1st, but then will go direct again on January 30th, 2025, but will remain in Taurus until April of 2026. Now, also with this type of retrograde or planetary transit happening in Taurus, you know, we might see a lot of changes within relationships. So there might be a lot of people that are finally becoming aware of relationships not working and then doing something about it and breaking free from toxic habits and loops that people may have been stuck in for a while. Okay, so before we pull cards, there's a couple other things I just want to skim over really quick, and that is some other stuff for September. So on the 2nd, the day after both these planets go retrograde, we'll have a new moon in Virgo. Now, Virgo sits in the 6th house, which is all about health. That's mental, spiritual, and physical health. And then new moons are always about new beginnings. So new beginnings around your health. We might be having these sudden, shocking, liberating feelings with the Pluto and the Uranus retrograde, and it'll shock us into trying new things when it comes to our health. Maybe start a new exercise routine, or getting more sleep, or eating better, stuff like that. So the Virgo new moon happening on September 2nd. And then this is another really cool thing happening in September. On September 17th, we will be experiencing a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now, the full moons are always about illuminating the shadows. It's an ending that leads to a new beginning. It's a time for manifestation and setting intentions. And then Pisces sits in the 12th house, which is all about fantasy. So the full moon at its peak, at its most bright, will illuminate the fantasies. Things might come to light, secrets might be revealed at that time, but we'll talk more about that when we get there. All right, let's get started with the reading. Whew, what an amazing time in astrology we are having. I am really interested on how this is all going to play out in both the macro and the microcosm. The macrocosm being the world around us, and then the microcosm being the world within us. You know, I feel like this is a really big and important time in history. I feel like a revolution might be on the horizon here. I mean, especially with everything going on politically in the world, I feel like we're gonna see some things unfold within the macrocosm that maybe we've never experienced quite to this extent for a really, really long time. But I really feel like it's going to be good. I feel like it's going to be all good. I mean, progress, evolution, transformation, pushing of boundaries and outdated beliefs. That is the theme around these retrogrades. Progress, evolution, transformation, growth. It's a time for us to really change how we've done and push boundaries. Break free from, you know, stubborn ways of being and thinking. Sounds good to me. It might be uncomfortable. Might be uncomfortable for a little while, but that discomfort is going to lead to some amazing changes. I just feel it. I feel it. All right, Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the Pluto retrograde in Capricorn and the Uranus retrograde in Taurus. We want to know how these retrogrades are going to be affecting us, both in the macrocosm and the microcosm. So I had an idea of taking 3 base cards and then doing 2 columns. So a column on how this energy is going to be affecting us in the macrocosm and the microcosm. All right, Spirit, can we get 3 base cards? 3 base cards, base energy for these planetary transits and what's coming up for us. Let's get 2 more shuffles. Last shuffle. What do you have to tell us, Spirit, about these planetary transits? Three base cards. Fixed. That's Taurus. Taurus is a fixed earth sign. Water. And Jupiter. Interesting that Jupiter would come out. Jupiter is in Gemini right now. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion, right? It is the largest planet in the solar system. It's all about expansion, knowledge, philosophy, learning, wisdom, morality, justice, faith, optimism. It's my favorite planet out of all the planets. That's a really good sign. This means that whatever we're going to be experiencing coming up is going to be a huge opportunity for growth and expansion. We're going to expand both in the micro and the macrocosm. That is in the base read. We've got fixed here as the first card that comes out. Now the fixed signs are known as the stabilizers of the zodiac. We've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are fixed signs. Now the Pluto retrograde has been in Aquarius and will re-enter Aquarius as well. So the fixed signs, there's a lot going on with the fixed signs right now. And then the water, you know, this might mean too that the fixed signs might be experiencing things a lot more intensely as well. Like especially Aquarius and Taurus. And then we've got the water card. Now, water is all about emotions. Let me fix this light. It's a little glary. There, that's better. So we've got the water card here, and water is all about emotions. Water is it takes on whatever shape that it puts it in. It's very flexible and malleable, right? So I feel like this is a message from Spirit that during this transit, these planetary transits, as we experience a lot of upheaval, it's going to be really important for us to be flexible with this and not be resistant, right? Water doesn't resist. Water flows around. So I feel like the Spirit is telling us with the water card here to be malleable, right? Be flexible. Don't resist the change. Don't resist this big change that's coming, because that's just going to make it worse for you. Flow with the change. Take on the shape of the change. And keep your emotions in check as well. You know, and that is one of the biggest lessons, and it's not an easy lesson at all when you're faced with adversity, to remain malleable and flexible and not resistant, not get angry and be in control of your emotions. That's way easier said than done, but I feel like something we should all aspire to on our spiritual evolution. Beautiful. All right, so let's get, I think, did I say the macrocosm here and the microcosm here? I feel like we should switch it. Microcosm here, macrocosm here, only because we've got the fixed sign here, and that kind of feels like, or the fixed card, that kind of feels like, Taurus and Aquarius, fixed signs. That's kind of a bit more macrocosm, and then Jupiter, the largest planet in the universe, feels more macrocosm instead of microcosm. So let's switch it. Microcosm here, macrocosm here. All right. Let's go to the Pluto deck. We've got to go to the Pluto deck. This is the Pluto Oracle. And it's all about your shadow sides, your deep subconscious, those parts of your psyche that are dark and often overlooked. But those dark places within your psyche are where all the gold is. That's where the gems are. And Pluto is all about that. Pluto's all about that. Pluto's about, instead of turning away from your darkness, staring it right in the eye. Staring it right in the eye, facing it, facing the darkness, embracing the darkness. And even if you can get to a point where you can appreciate the darkness, that is a beautiful place to be in. That is Zen. That is Zen. When you can look at the darkness and see the beauty within it, yeah. Yep, you've made it. If you can get to that point. I'm not saying I'm there. I'm saying I aspire to be there. But yes, if you can get to a point where you can appreciate the darkness, not only with yourself, but within the world and where we're at, and, you know, accept the evolutionary timeline, you know, I think that's really hard for a lot of people to accept where we are, like where we are in this moment on our evolutionary timeline. Like it's good to push, you know, those belief systems and you know, be in resistance a little bit to what is, because if we were never in resistance to what is, we would never change. So there's got to be like a good balance, right? But I feel like it's really important to accept where you are, but calmly and peacefully work towards the change you're seeking. It's like nobody wants to listen to somebody screaming at them in their face. If you do that, if you scream at people, now I used to be an activist, animal rights activist. I used to do that. And one thing I really learned from that experience was people don't want to be yelled at. They don't want you to scream at them and tell them what they're doing wrong. People are just going to turn away. They're going to be disgusted with you and turn away. But if you come in a more like peaceful and more compassionate way, people are more inclined to listen to you, right? And when you catch more bees with honey. I think I'm talking about this because of the political upheaval that's in the energy right now. I feel like there's going to be a lot of protesting, and I'm a bit concerned about riots and violence. You know, that's never the right way to go about things. Screaming, getting angry, the violence, it's not very productive at all, and it just separates people even more, creates even more of a division. That's why I love Gandhi, you know? He was always like, but look at how he changed the world, how he changed everything. And he did it in such a peaceful way, but people recognized that, and he'll go down in history forever for his peaceful protests. Yes, nobody wants to listen to an angry, screaming person. Okay, that was a long rant. Okay, Spirit, what do we have for the microcosm here? What kind of shadows do people need to individually focus on while we're in this planetary transit? How do people need to focus on their own shadows? What kind of shadows do they need to be focusing on at this time? In this time of change and transformation. Last shuffle. All right, Spirit, what do we have for the microcosm, please? The alligator. Ooh. Something lurking under the surface. Under the surface, the alligator. You know, an alligator lives in the water as well, and we've got the water card here. So deep subconscious emotions. Something is lurking within the depths of the swamp, waiting to snap. This can also be representative of a person too. But in this reading, I see the alligator card as something lurking deep within your subconscious, deep within your emotional subconscious. Darkness within you that maybe you've ignored, you know? An alligator is really good at camouflaging itself. Let's read this out of the book. Yeah, your feelings may have been camouflaged as something else. It's like, you know, when you get angry, that anger is actually a more surface level emotion. If you go deeper down into your emotions, that anger usually comes from a place of powerlessness. So it's like you can go deeper in the emotional spectrum until you get to the root of everything, which is powerlessness, pain, and sadness, really. Okay, the alligator. Here we go, number 44. Whoa, I opened right up to it. Okay, the alligator. Hidden enemies. Survival. If you've ever been to the swamp, you know that even if you can't see them, under the surface of any body of fresh water, an alligator is lurking. Alligators are not to be trifled with. They wait just underneath the placid surface until their prey gets close enough to the water's edge, at which point they jump out, snap down their bone-crushing jaws, and drag their meal underwater to drown it. This watery predator moves with surprising speed and precision, too quickly for the animal to react or recoil. If you've pulled the alligator card, you too have a hidden enemy lurking in your environment. Now is the time to tap into your intuition. If something or somebody makes you feel wary, it's for a reason. Not everyone is who they seem, and it's possible that someone is waiting for that moment to strike when your defenses are low. This isn't meant to encourage paranoia, but to serve as a reminder that your gut instinct is the right one. If you don't trust someone, keep your distance. Alternatively, it's possible that you are in survival mode thanks to past experiences that have left you feeling mistrustful. Take some time to discern which energy is present now for you, keeping in mind that it may be a little bit of both. When we are stuck in survival mode, our nervous system is out of whack. The frontal lobe of our brain, which controls our judgment and the ability to see the bigger picture, isn't functioning as it should. This can also manifest as root chakra issues. The root chakra is our lowest energy center, and it deals with concerns about safety. Take the time to ground yourself and really listen to your body. What makes you feel safe in your body and the surrounding environment? Give yourself those things today. So yes, I feel like, Spirit is saying that this energy is just lurking under the surface. Things are going to get rather chaotic. And with the root chakra coming up, we've got Taurus energy coming off the fixed card here, and Taurus sits in the second house, which is about money, possessions, the material world, and that is root chakra energy. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like these retrogrades are gonna force us to face what's lurking under the shadows. And if we choose not to face it, it's just gonna become louder and louder and louder until you can't avoid facing it. So, progress, evolution, transformation, pushing of boundaries, and outdated beliefs. It's time to face what's lurking beneath the water. This alligator might have been lurking underneath the surface for you for a very long time, and now it's time to face it. Okay, I'm trying to decide on if I want to pull for the macrocosm now, but I think I want to keep going with the microcosm. Okay, we'll pull that after. All right. Let's go to my new deck. I got this one for my birthday. It's the same artist as the Dream and Incarnations deck. All right, Spirit, what else do we have for the microcosm? I understand that these emotions have been lurking under the surface, and because we haven't been facing them, they might jump out and bite us. But this is for our own expansion and growth. What else do you have to tell us about the microcosm during these planetary transits, please? What else do you have to tell us, Spirit? What else does the collective need to focus on during these planetary transits? Internally, focus on. Internally, the microcosm. Ooh, new decks. They're always a little stiff. Okay, one more shuffle. All right, Spirit, what else do you have us for the microcosm, please? What do we need to focus on inwardly during this time? Whoa, that came out fast. What else? What else out of this deck? Thank you. Awakening. Holy shit. Oh my God, look. Awakening. Awakening. Oh. And greed. Yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about for the Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, how, people in positions of power, things are going to come to light. Shadows are going to become illuminated, and how people have abused their positions of power. Like that's going to come out in the collective here. greed. We're going to start recognizing where people in positions of power have been greedy, and we're going to awaken to this. This is going to illuminate. Yeah. If we can focus on our shadows here, if we can focus on those dark aspects within our emotions, this is going to awaken us to how people and places have been manipulating us in our life. And we're going to awaken to this. We're going to awaken to where we've been greedy in our life as well. You know, the alligator is deep shadows lurking beneath the surface, right? Maybe we'll turn inwardly too and recognize where we've been greedy in our life, whether with our money or our energy. Okay, what else out of this deck for the microcosm? Anything else out of this deck? What else should the microcosm expect, please? Wow. Meditation. Yeah, we're going to need to use meditation to our advantage. You know, when we awaken to all these, you know, when we awaken to how we've been manipulated in our life, you go inward. And that's what meditation is about. When you awaken towards where you've been manipulated in your life, you go and you self-reflect, which is an energy of meditation. I think that there's going to be a lot of chaos in people's lives. There's going to be a lot of upheaval. But if you ride the wave and remain malleable during this, and you self-reflect, this will cause evolution and growth, transformation, death and rebirth, phoenix rising from the ashes. It's Pluto. It's Pluto retrograde. Yeah, I don't think that this is going to be easy, though. I don't think this is going to be easy. I think there's going to be a lot of people that have a really rough go of it. And I think I was reading too, because the Pluto retrograde is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is a cardinal sign, that this is going to be especially difficult for cardinal signs. Now, the cardinals are Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra. Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra. Yes. The cardinal signs might be experiencing this even more intensely. And I would say Capricorns have probably got it the hardest. But just remember, if you are in a really challenging scenario, that challenge is there for your growth and expansion. It's there to help you learn and evolve and become better, a better person, a better soul. It's there to make you wiser. Yeah, without struggle and strife, there would be no expansion. There would be no growth. Without darkness, there cannot be light. So try to remember that when you end up in a really challenging situation. That if you look at it in the right way, if you have the right perspective, it can be the best thing that ever happened to you. I know that's hard to think, but if you take that perspective, and you can really find the moonlight in the jail cell. You can really find where whatever you're experiencing is actually benefiting you. And that's a big challenge. It really is. But dang, it feels good when you make it to that point. When you have that realization within your experience where you're like, oh my God, that's what I was meant to learn. This is what I was meant to learn. When you have that feeling, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling. Okay. All right, let's go to the symbols deck. Spirit, what else? What other advice or wisdom do you have for the microcosm, please? What else do you have for the microcosm? What other words of advice or wisdom do you have for the microcosm? What else for the microcosm out of this deck, please? What else do we have? What else? Whoa! Whoa! Look! Transformation. 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 That's what Spirit has to say. That's what Spirit has to say about this planetary transit. Yeah, in a nutshell. Holy shit. What else? Focus, time. Chronos, god of time. That's Capricorn. Transformation, focus, and time. You know, remain focused during this time. The transformation is absolutely inevitable. It's inevitable. But you have to stay focused. Stay focused on the, the goals of the transformation. Your own personal evolution, your own change. How can you make your life better? How do you improve your situation through transformation, through change? What in your life can you change that's been stuck for a very long time? And then do that. And give it time, the rippling effect of these kind of transits, they don't just, it's not just a couple of months or whatever. It ripples. It's a ripple effect. So give this time. Give yourself time. Time to evolve, It's like a flower doesn't make it from a seed to a bud overnight. It takes time. So give yourself time for this transformation. But it's happening. It's in the works. Safe travel at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. We're guided. We're protected. This transformation is inevitable and it's for our highest good. I want to read Focus really quick. Number 24. If you have been feeling scattered, now is the time to home in on your desires. Time to be direct and very clear with your intentions. Watch your thoughts because you are drawing into your life what you are focusing on. Meditate on this card when you want clarity and directness in thought and in speech. The bow and arrow have long been used as a weapon for hunting and protection. Now they are used for more sport. It is with great focus, discipline, and sight that one becomes a skilled archer. I love that. Have you been feeling scattered? Now is the time to home in on your desires. Time to be direct and very clear with your intentions. Yes, this transformation, that's exactly what I was just talking about. Focus in on your life, on the things that you've wanted to change for a while, or the things that you felt needed to change, but you were too fearful to actually do anything about. Now is the time. Now is the time to change. Yeah, now is the time. The time is now to change these things. Transformation and liberation is here. It's here. The energy is here, and it's ripe and ready for the picking, and it's time for you to make these changes within your life. Okay, 41. Time. Divine timing is everything. You are not stuck or heading in the wrong direction. Drawing the hourglass asks you to have patience with whatever your current situation is. All will come to pass when the moment is just right. This card can also indicate that something you are waiting for is on the horizon. The hourglass gained popularity in the early Middle Ages to tell the passing of time. Its popularity rose with marine sand glasses on ships at sea. Most notoriously, They were used by pirates on their flags to strike fear into the hearts of their victims. Divine timing. Now is the time. Now is the time for change and transformation. And that's like since the beginning of my channel. If you're curious, go back and watch the first videos of my channel. I wasn't fully aware of the Pluto retrograde, and I just had a deep feeling that I needed to do something to change my life. I needed to chase my dreams. I needed to chase my passions. And tarot and oracle has been one of my passions. I absolutely love it. And so I decided, after thinking for many years, I thought about, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool to start a tarot channel on YouTube? Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe one day I'll do that. And then the Pluto retrograde happened and I was like, I'm gonna do that. It's a time for change. All those things you've been thinking about for so long, this is the perfect energy to actually do it, to actually make things happen, to take those dreams that you've had and put them into action. And just take it one step at a time. You don't need to do everything all at once. And you might fail. It might start off slow, but just keep at it. It's bound to take off at some point. With divine timing, it's bound to take off at some point. Let's read Transformation 19. Here we go. Transformation. The butterfly goes through many stages before it becomes the beautiful creature that it is. Honor your process and allow your beauty to be seen by all. Wear more color to help announce the arrival of your exquisite transformation. Meditate on this when you want to call in more beauty, grace, and acceptance during times of transition. The butterfly is a powerful symbol of transformation. Beautiful. Okay, let's get into the macrocosm. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, wisdom, knowledge, optimism, travel, inclusiveness, good fortune, healing, and self-realization. Yes. I feel like things are going to be hard for a little while, and there's going to be a lot of upheaval. Things are going to get dark. It's going to get uncomfortable. But in the long run, it's Jupiter energy. In the long run, we can expect to see expansion within the collective consciousness, expansion within the macrocosm. Beautiful. Yes. All right, Spirit, what else can you tell us about the macrocosm? What is going on with the macrocosm? What kind of shadows might come to light during this planetary transit? What kind of shadows might come to light during this transit that will lead to ultimate expansion? 2 more shuffles. Last shuffle. All right, Spirit. What kind of shadows might come to light during this planetary transit for the macrocosm? Kangaroo. I don't know that card. Let's look it up. The kangaroo. The kangaroo is a really good boxer, and it's got a pouch. They're very strong mammals. Let's read about the kangaroo. 50. Raw energy, vitality, and optimism. That's Jupiter. The kangaroo is full of energy and is often depicted in movies, in cartoons, in the fighting ring, boxing gloves, and all. The raw energy that courses through the kangaroo fuels its tireless vitality, enabling this animal to spring into or away from action at a moment's notice. When the Kangaroo card has sprung into your reading, exciting things are at play. At its core, this card signals a boost in our life force. Perhaps we have recovered from illness or finally feel better after being depressed for a really long time. Either way, there is a surge of physical vitality that is renewing our spirit. To match that, there is also a surge of optimism infusing your spirit now, or there soon will be. Yeah, this transformation, it's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be really not super fun to go through, but we need it. We need it because it's gonna get us to a much better place. Listen to all this optimism. A boost in life force, recovering from illness, feeling better after being depressed for a really long time. Yes, I think that there's a lot of us that have been stuck hoping and wishing for things to happen, but not doing anything about them. Now's the time that we're going to get our butts kicked. It feels that way. I feel like we're all going to get our butts kicked and the collective is going to get its butt kicked, but it's for the greater good. It's for our own transformation and growth. And look what we have waiting for us in the future. Look at all this optimistic vitality. Look at it. This is going to be amazing. We're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to just flow like water through this and be malleable, remember. But what we've got in our future, it's looking really good. Either way, there's a surge of physical vitality that is renewing our spirits. There's also a surge of optimism infusing your spirit, or there soon will be. Embrace this positive energy as much as you can and take action to make the most of it. Yeah, take action. I feel like that's really important. If you feel ready to spring into action, then do it. There is a palpable potential to be harnessed. You just must decide where and how to direct it. Don't be so hasty to act that you go in unprepared. But in this case, a fast and loose plan may actually serve you best. Seize the moment, as they say. Now is the time to recognize the potential that lies both within you and all around you. Within you and all around you. The microcosm and the macrocosm. Raw energy is useless without somewhere to go. Whatever inspires you and makes you feel alive is the direction in which to move. And that's what I was just talking about. All those things you've wanted to do. It's time now to take steps towards those dreams. Whether you felt like you've spent way too much time in a toxic relationship, now is the time to get out of it. If you feel like you've spent way too much time in a career you hate, now is the time to make changes, to do something about it, whether that's go to school or just switch careers or follow your passions and trust in the universe. You know, now is the time for change and transformation. It's potent. It's potent in the collective, and you're gonna feel like you missed the train if you don't act now. And that's what this card is saying. It says, don't be so hasty to act that you go in unprepared. But in this case, a fast and loose plan may serve you best. Seize the moment. Now is the time to act. This energy won't be in the collective forever. It's not going to be this favorable for change forever, right? Take this moment. Take this opportunity and do something to change, and don't expect it to be successful overnight. You most likely will encounter opposition, but how you perceive that opposition, are you going to perceive it as a failure, or are you going to perceive it as a challenge where you continue to fight for what you want? The universe loves that. The universe loves when we don't give up. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. It's like you have no choice. What do you got to lose anyway? You just keep trying. You just keep doing. Eventually it'll work. Eventually something will click and something will work. Raw energy is useless without somewhere to go. Whatever inspires you and makes you feel alive is the direction in which to move. Through these avenues, you can cultivate even more optimism and energy. Consider also that optimism is a state of mind, regardless of outside circumstances. It is knowing and trusting that whatever is happening in this moment is best for the moment. There's learning lessons in literally everything, and the universe is such an amazingly divine and purposeful mechanism. You know, it's designed to bring about expansion and growth. That is the actual design of our experience here as humans on planet Earth. It's planet Earth, and our experience here in this solar system is designed to teach us. We're in spiritual university. And what have you got to lose to chase your dreams, to make those changes? Hell, we're just going to be dead one day anyway. Why sit in a state of depression, right? Just like the Kangaroo card said. Might have been stuck in depression for a really long time, and now there's an opportunity to come out of it with expansive optimism. Jupiter and the Kangaroo, how phenomenal. Okay, where are we going next? Let's go to the symbols, but I think I want to pick up the stars divine again. Spirit, what else do you have to tell us about the macrocosm? Why is Jupiter and Kangaroo here for the macrocosm? I see that, you know, during this transit, things are going to be really rough. We've got the alligator here. It's going to come out. It's going to snap suddenly. There's going to be a shadow, something dark, something that's going to come out of the water, snap suddenly with no time to react. But this is going to cause us to self-reflect. We're going to go into a state of self-reflection and meditation, which will help us during our transformation. What we need to focus on is the divine timing of everything. Focus on where we can make changes in our life, what we can do now to make the changes. And then in the future, once we make it through this, we've got all this amazing optimism in the future energy and the macrocosmic energy. Spirit, what else do you have to tell us about the macrocosmic energy, please? Last shuffle. What else about the macrocosmic energy, please? What else do you have to tell us, Spirit? Soulmate. Okay, integration. Beautiful. What else? What else, Spirit? What else out of this deck? For the macrocosm, please. Thank you. Look. What else for the macrocosm? Soulmate. Now, this could mean a soulmate coming in once you make these changes and you actually chase your dreams. What's going to happen is integration within the inside of yourself and the outside of yourself. The inside is going to start reflecting on the outside. When you fix what's going on the inside, and I don't want to say fix because everything is perfect and divine just the way it is, but when you find more balance and harmony within the inside, this is going to reflect on the outside. And that's what this card is all about. It's about integration. The microcosm and the macrocosm will integrate. If we take these opportunities that are given to us right now, this is the potential outcome. Integration. Wow. What's the other card that came out? What else do we have? Spiritual cleansing. Holy mackerel. Spiritual cleansing. Yeah, this is going to be a spiritual cleansing. It's going to be like a whole new world. A whole new world. Yes, This is looking so good. Yeah, you know, there are forests that need to burn down. The entire forest needs to burn. But then when it grows back even stronger and better and greater than it was before it burnt down. That is Pluto. That is Pluto energy. It comes in and burns everything down so you can rise from the ashes. It clears all the bullshit away so that you can start fresh and new. So you can see what hasn't been working in your life, whether that's internally or externally. And it's most likely internally for the most part, because what happens on the inside reflects on our outside, right? This is going to be a great spiritual cleansing. This is going to be a phenomenal opportunity, if we choose to take it, to cleanse ourselves of all this bullshit that we've put ourselves through, all this darkness, sadness, depression, resistance, division, anger. I mean, everything that's going on in the world right now, it's so sad. But it's there. It's gonna become even more blatantly obvious what we don't want. What we don't want has to become so illuminated and obvious to the point where we're finally ready to make a change, finally ready to transition and transform into a new state of being, a integration within our community, within the world, within humanity, within ourselves. Like, this is here. It's in our energy. It's available to us, but we all have to make a conscious decision to work towards it. And you start within. You really do have to start within. Spiritual cleansing. Let's read this card out of the booklet. Number 50. Spiritual cleansing. It is time for a spiritual cleansing of the body, the mind, or the spaces in which you reside. There is an imbalance, a stuck energy, or heaviness in the environment that needs to be released before you proceed further. The Hamsa is a palm-shaped amulet popular throughout the Middle East and North Africa. The word Hamsa, also spelled Kamsa and Hamesh, means 5 and refers to the fingers of the hand. The number 5 is, in numerology, a turning point. It's the middle number between the single-digit numbers. It marks a turning point. That's where we are in the collective. That's where we are as a collective consciousness in the macrocosm, in the world around us. We're at a turning point. And things are going to change. But only if we're willing to change on the inside. We all have to. Hamesh means 5 and refers to the fingers of the hand. In Jewish culture, the Hamsa is called the hand of Miriam. In some Muslim cultures, the hand of Fatima. It's time for a spiritual cleansing of the body, mind, or spaces in which you reside. There's an imbalance and stuck energy or heaviness in the macrocosm. There's a heaviness, absolutely. I mean, I just got done talking about that. The heaviness within the macrocosm is you can't turn away. You could try, and I try, but you can't really turn away. It's really gotten to a state. But I feel like Spirit is giving us a lot of hope here with all this optimism and integration and cleansing energy coming in. I feel we have so much to be optimistic for. But, you know, when we change our environment in ourselves and our attitudes, that ripples out into the world around us and spreads too. So spread joy, spread love, spread peace, spread happiness. You know, try to change the things that you can change and become like water around the things that you don't have control over, and meditate on love and integration coming into the human experience, into this time and space. It's here. It's available for us. I really hope for this. I really pray for this. This is just so beautiful. Okay, let's get a few more cards. I said I wanted to take some more out of the Stars Divine. Let's take a couple more cards out of the Stars Divine deck and then wrap it up. All right, Spirit, any more final words of advice or wisdom around the macrocosm here? What else can we expect after these planetary transits come in and shake everything up? What else do you have to tell us about the macrocosm, Spirit? What else about the macrocosm? Last shuffle. Vesta and fire. Yeah, that's passion. There's going to be an ignition. There's going to be an ignition within the collective. Passion is going to be reignited. Look at, we've got fire here. Look at that explosion. Fire is the element of transformation. In alchemy, it is the final stage in alchemy, transformation. Rubedo, transformation. This is going to be awesome. We're going to have an era, I feel it in the collective, in this energy, in this macrocosmic energy right over here. We're going to have an era or space and time where the passion will be reignited and integration will begin to start happening. It might take a lot of time, though. It might take some time, but the passion is there. It's coming back. Let's read Vesta out of the booklet really quick. Vesta is a asteroid that's associated with Virgo and Scorpio, and that's Pluto. Pluto is Scorpio. Vesta is the guardian of the hearth and sacred fire. It is the Virgin as a symbol of self-renewal and purification. I'll try and show you the card. There's a lot of nudity on the card, but here we'll just, I know, I'll read out of this hand and then I'll use this finger to cover her up. Okay, there we go. Vesta is the guardian of the hearth and sacred fire. It is the Virgin as a symbol of self-renewal and purification. It carries a sense of wholeness and home, inner transformation, sexuality, spirituality, and devotion are its values. Bright side, fire as a ritual, purification, sexuality, and devotion. Fire as a ritual, purity, renewal. Look what it came out with. Fire. That's purification. That's rubedo. This is in our collective energy. This is in the macrocosmic energy, everybody. fire as a form of purification. I ask, what else is going on in the macrocosm? Spirit gives us Vesta and fire. Guardian of the hearth. Vesta is the guardian of the hearth and sacred fire. Self-renewal and purification. Please, God. Please let this be so. Oh my God, what an amazing reading. This has brought me a lot of hope, and I really hope that it has brought you a lot of hope as well, and a sense of renewal and bravery and courage as we step into a time and space that might be really difficult and challenging. Just remember this reading, come back and look at it and re-listen to it and get back into that feeling of the warrior within you, the spiritual warrior within you that can handle anything, right? Just tap back into that warrior energy when you're in a state of the alligator, right? When you find yourself in a scenario of the alligator where you're being dragged underneath the water and drowned, just remember that you are a spiritual warrior, and this is what we have coming in our future. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you, and I cannot wait to see you all again in the next reading.